Hi, welcome to another video. So, there's a new Llama 3.1 fine-tuned model that has hit the internet, and it's claiming to be even better than Claude 3.5 Sonnet and the best open source model ever. And it's just the fine-tune of the 70B variant, not even the 405B variant. This model is called Reflection 70B. It's named this because it was trained with a new technique called reflection tuning, which teaches an LLM to detect mistakes in its reasoning and correct its course. The creators have shared the benchmark results, and as you can see, it literally beats every model in almost every benchmark, which is just insane to think about. But we can't fully trust these benchmarks alone, so we'll be trying it out. But first, let me explain to you what reflection tuning is, so we can understand what makes it different and why it may be able to do what it claims to do. Reflection tuning was first introduced in this paper. What the reflection tuning method proposes is that first, the LLM thinks about how it should answer the question. Then, it reflects on the answer, meaning it considers whether the answer it's thinking of is correct or not. If it thinks changes are needed, it makes those adjustments before producing the final output. As you can see in this picture, it thinks, reflects, and then gives the answer. It's like an internal monologue system, which is kind of cool. So, it's cool, but there could be one drawback to this. The drawback is that it might generate 2 to 3 times more tokens than a general LLM would, which will increase its inference cost significantly, which is concerning. Anyway, let's test it and see. They have a hosted demo to try it out, but it doesn't work for some reason. Many people are complaining about this, but it's available on Llama, so we can test it from there. However, because it's a 70B model, I can't host it locally. So, I'll be hosting it on Lightning AI, and then using it on Open Web UI to chat with it. I already have that set up, so that isn't an issue. Anyway, let's get started and check it out. I'll be testing it with these 13 questions. So, let's get started. The first question is, what is the capital city of the country whose name ends with Elia? I'm referring to the country name here. The answer should be Canberra, or any country capital that rhymes with Elia. Let's send it over and check. Okay, here's the answer, and this is correct. Also, you can see how many tokens it generated to reach that answer, which is insane and not cost-effective at all. Anyway, let's mark this as a pass. The next question is, what is the number that rhymes with the word we use to describe a tall plant? The answer should be 3. Let's see if it can answer. Here's the answer, and this is correct. So, we'll mark this as a pass. The next question is, John has 3 boxes of pencils. Each box contains 12 pencils. How many pencils does John have in total? The answer should be 36. Let's send it and check. Okay, here's the answer, and this one's also correct. Let's mark it as a pass. The next question is, Lucy has twice as many candies as Mike. If Mike has 7 candies, how many candies does Lucy have? The answer should be 14. Let's send it and check. Here's the answer, and this is correct. So, this one's also a pass. The next question is 3,307 a prime number? The answer should be yes. So, let's send it over. Okay, here's the answer, and this isn't correct. So, even after all that reasoning, it still can't tell if a number is prime or not, which is interesting. Let's mark this as a fail. Now, the next question is, I have 2 apples, then I buy 2 more. I bake a pie with 2 of the apples. After eating half of the pie, how many apples do I have left? The answer should be 2. Let's send it over. Here's the answer, and this is correct. So, let's mark this as a pass. The next question is, Sally is a girl. She has 3 brothers. Each of her brothers has the same 2 sisters. How many sisters does Sally have? The answer should be 1. Let's send it over. Okay, here's the answer, and this looks correct. So, let's mark this as a pass. Now, the next question is, if a regular hexagon has a short diagonal of 64, what is its long diagonal? The answer should be 73.9. Let's send it and see. Okay, here's the answer, and it doesn't answer this question correctly. Let's mark this as a fail. Now, the next questions are coding related. The first one is, create an HTML page with a button that explodes confetti when you click it. You can use CSS and JS as well. Let's send it and check. Here's the code. Let's preview it. Okay, so this doesn't work at all. Let's mark this as a fail. The next question is, create a Python program that prints the next X leap years based on user input. Let's send and check. Here's the code. Let's run it. It's asking for input. Let's give it that. And here's the output, which is correct. So, this works pretty well. Let's mark it as a pass. The next question is, generate the SVG code for a butterfly. Okay, here's the code. Let's preview it. And this doesn't look like a butterfly. This one's a fail. Now, the next question is, create a landing page for an AI company. The landing page should have 4 sections: header, banner, features, and contact us. Make sure the landing page looks sleek and modern. You can use HTML, CSS, and JS. Let's send it and see. Here's the code. Let's preview this. And this doesn't look like a good landing page. It doesn't have proper spacing or anything. The base Llama 3.1 makes better landing pages. So, this one's a fail. Now the next question is, write a game of life in Python that works in the terminal. Let's send it and see. Here's the code. Let's run it. Okay, this works fine. I don't have any complaints. Let's mark this as a pass. Now, here's the final chart. I've also added the original 70B testing here, and as you can see, both models failed in 5 questions. Although they failed in some different and some common questions, what this tells us is that it isn't on par with Claude, GPT-4O, or any of the models they claim it rivals. Although this is a good model, it has many limitations. For instance, the number of tokens it consumes for a simple answer is insane. It's not cost-effective at all. Plus, there aren't many upsides. It might be good at specific reasoning tasks, but generally, it's similar to other models with much higher costs, making it a tough pill to swallow. It would have been great if this reflection training was done on a model that people could actually run locally, like a 7B or 2B model. That would allow us to avoid worrying about token usage and costs, yielding 10 to 20% better results in specific domains. But doing this on a 70B model is not a great idea, since it costs 50 to 60% more money for only 10 to 20% better results. In that case, people could just use something like DeepSeek, Gemini, or even Claude, which would give them better results. So overall, it's cool in performance, but not so cool in terms of cost. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, consider donating to my channel through the Super Thanks option below, or you can also consider becoming a member by clicking the Join button. Also, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.